Welcome to this review of Mashle Magic and Muscle Chapter 62, Mash Bernadette and the Great Danger. And despite this chapter title, Mash really does not have a major part to play in this chapter, well, not directly anyway. He is more of a plot device driving the story forwards for the moment, but that is okay. He just finished his awesome fight with Margaret, so let us give some other characters a chance to shine, those who have not had such a chance, not to mention in the previous chapter we just got what will probably be the main enemy for the rest of the series, so giving them a chance to show off their power is a good idea to get us invested. Starting the chapter off, we have Father greeting everyone as we did at the end of the previous chapter, his face shrouded in darkness, and as Mash, Lance and Dot are seen looking up to him, he raises his hand to point up at the sky, no visible wand usage or spell casting. In an instant all the color is drained from the world. Meanwhile the clock face on a nearby tower stops ticking and Mash remains completely frozen in place. Everyone remains frozen in place, even the bird which stole Mash's cream puff is frozen in flight as time itself has come to a halt. This is an extreme increase in the overall power of the Mashle series. Even if this is the highest end tier of power, this is still an impressive feat, depending upon the scale of the time stop. Is it a global or beyond feat, or is it limited to the local area? Either way, this is certainly the most powerful spell we have seen to date. With that spell cast, Father has no issue advancing on forwards towards Mash, his allies following behind him as he speaks on how he was looking for Mash. The presumed leader of Innocent Zero lays a hand on Mash's left cheek, the cheek where his fake mark is, almost caressing it. Commenting on how beautiful he is, and how he never believed that he would find Mash alive and the despair which that brought upon him. And we get the reveal of the fact that apparently this man is Mash's father, or I guess could be mother, cannot really confirm their gender at the moment, but I am going to address them as male until proven otherwise. But anyway, we also get a close-up on their left eye. I don't know if it has any significance, as it doesn't exactly look like anything specific. At first, I considered the evil eye, but it doesn't match the design. It could just be a cool shot, but you can also tell there isn't any distinctive mark on that side of their face, at least not around the eye. Father pulls back his hand, commenting on how once he has absorbed Mash, he will be complete. Then he speaks on how it is time for them to go. However, before they can leave, a voice calls out to them, and would you believe it, Wahlberg has entered the fray, standing behind them in all his gloriously bearded magnificence. He speaks, with what I assume is a calm voice, that is thundering with authority, saying that he will not simply hand Mash over to Innocent Zero. That is when some unnamed member of Innocent Zero, wielding two pairs of scissors, has the gall to think he can stand up to Wahlberg, believing that even if he does not bat an eye at dark magic capable of stopping time, they are prepared for him. What the arrogant fool gets for his work, is to be split right down the middle by a giant ornate axe. Unfortunately, this is not Wahlberg literal killing him, but just the effect of his apparent killing intent flaring up, as the man realizes that this is the extent of the old man's rage. This is both impressive and interesting, as up until this point there had not been any indication that someone's bloodlust could cause actual hallucinations in this series, and if this is just murderous intent, then this is something Mash could potentially utilize down the line, supplementing his non-magical fighting style. Wahlberg for his part chuckles as he removes his glasses and hat, commenting how if that scares him, then he should back off as he is nothing but an insignificant speck. And we get a close-up of both their eyes, Wahlberg looking mighty fierce while Scissor Guy is positively freaking out, sweat pouring down his face as his entire body locks up in primal fear. I wonder just how strong Scissor Guy is. Presumably he is pretty strong if Innocent Zero keeps him around, so I can make a pretty good guess at how strong Wahlberg's killing intent is. A hand lands upon Scissor Guy's shoulder, as Father speaks up, addressing the elderly headmaster, telling him not to be so harsh on his allies, otherwise he will be sad. And once again we get this zoom in on that left eye of theirs. I wonder if that is all we are ever going to get a clear image of with this guy. Maybe it is less that this eye is significant, but the visage of the rest of him is? Either way, Wahlberg undeterred questions him on what his true goal is. And father gives an answer, which is both unsurprising to me, but is also exciting for the many possibilities it opens up for the story going forwards. His goal is to become a perfect human, undying, forever beautiful, powerful. That is what he is seeking, and immediately I am given Orochimaru vibes from this guy. Anyway, Wahlberg agrees with me, calling his goals banal, boring, unoriginal. And he even goes on to question him, if he would sacrifice countless lives for that, if stealing magic power, causing suffering was worth it. However, father questions what the problem is with what he has done, as his family exists for his sake. That of course includes Mash, who he claims exists for him. So, father declares he will be taking him home, and in response Wahlberg laughs right in his face, and as he does so, 2 more lines form down his face, blood spitting out from them, as he stands in opposition to father, speaking of how it seems they were destined to be opposed. Wahlberg claims that Mash will become the beacon of hope for the world, so if they wish to take him, they will have to get past him first. And then from a swirling mass of darkness Wahlberg begins to summon his wand, but he isn't the only one planning on going all out, as 2 lines form down right-hand side of father's face, emerging from just below the eye. Father speaks on how, it has been decades since they last crossed wands, and that is when they both at the exact same time, summon forth the power of God slumbering within their wands. Am I the only one who is getting a sort of Voldemort, Dumbledore vibe or Orochimaru, Sarutobi vibe from these two? Like they have a much deeper connection than we are yet aware of, and while given Mashle's inspiration that might seem obvious, there is still the potential for great lore drops to happen down the line. Anyway, Wahlberg calls forth the power of Uranus, the god of the sky, and father calls upon the god of time Kronos. That is where the chapter ends. Honestly, this was a really good introduction to the leader of Innocent Zero, a good way to get Wahlberg into the fight and demonstrate their strength at the same time. It is also showing that, even if Mash can defeat someone like Margaret, who might be as strong as a divine visionary, he is still far from reaching the top of the world where he can, with confidence, declare himself free of the dangers of this world. At the end of this chapter, we have been once more left with more questions than answers. What kind of magic will Wahlberg use to face off against father? What is the connection between the headmaster and the leader of Innocent Zero? Is father actually Mash's biological dad, or is there something else going on there? Why did Rigro find him abandoned in the street? Did father abandon him as a failure? Or did something else occur which resulted in them being separated? So many questions, and so few answers. Guess we will just have to wait and see what we can learn later on in the series, but I do have a couple of theories I'd like to present in the future. But for now I would like to thank you for watching to this point. Feel free to like the video if you like the video, and dislike if you disliked it, and if you enjoy listening to the ramblings of someone random guy on the internet, feel free to subscribe and ring the bell.